Hello and welcome back to Knack Kitchen, where this week we are going to be making a traditional British Christmas cake. This recipe was provided to me by my grand aunt, who actually got this recipe from her mother. So it is a tried and tested age-old recipe, and I'm very excited to share it with you. So without further ado, let's just get into this video. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll take some soft unsalted butter and some brown sugar in a bowl, and now we're just going to cream this together for about 3 to 4 minutes or until our mixture is light and fluffy. So once our butter and sugar are lighter in color, we're going to go ahead and add 5 whole eggs, one at a time, and this cake is a large 9-inch cake, so it will require 5 eggs. So once all of our eggs have been beaten in, we can go ahead and add some treacle, which is readily available on Amazon, but if you cannot find treacle, then you can substitute that with some honey. It won't give you as dark or rich a flavor, but it will be a decent substitute. We're also now going to add some vanilla extract for added flavor, and we'll beat that in as well. Now for my dry ingredients, I have some plain flour in a bowl, to which I'm going to go ahead and add some salt. If you're using salted butter, then you can omit the salt. As for the spices, I'm using some nutmeg and some cardamom, followed by some cinnamon and allspice. But in case you happen to have mixed spice, then you can substitute all of these with just 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. Now the recipe also called for self-raising flour instead of all-purpose flour, but since I didn't have that, I'm using some baking soda and baking powder. Now we're going to add a little bit of our dry ingredients to our soaked dry fruits. I made this in my orange Christmas cake video, and I will link that in the description box below. Now, after adding 1/4 of our flour to the soaked fruits, we are adding the remaining flour directly to our butter and sugar mixture, and we're going to fold this in until we have a smooth batter. So once we have a smooth batter, we're going to go ahead and add our soaked dry fruits and fold this in, but along with the dry fruits, we'll also add some almond flour. Now in case you don't have almond flour, then you can just grind some almonds in your mixer grinder, and that will do the trick just as well. And now that we have our gorgeous, glorious cake batter, we are just going to transfer this to a well-greased and lined cake tin. I'm using a 9-inch cake tin, but this recipe works perfectly for a 10-inch pan as well. And I have greased the sides and put some parchment paper on the sides as well, just for added support and to prevent the sides of the cake from burning. You can also cover your cake pan with some foil to prevent that as well. Now we're just going to smoothen the top, and after that this goes into a preheated oven for about 3 hours. The details of the temperatures would be in the description box, but it's basically 1 hour at 150 degrees, 1 hour at 140 degrees, followed by a last hour at about 120 degrees Celsius. And after 3 hours, our cake should be beautifully brown on the top, just like this. Now in case your cake is browning too much, you can cover the top with some foil after about 90 minutes as well. And now I'm just poking some holes with a skewer because I am going to feed this cake with some rum so that it's perfectly ready and moist by the time Christmas comes around. Now the amount of rum that you will require will really depend. I use about 3 to 4 tablespoons, which is adequately enough to cover the entire cake on the top. And at this point, I do not remove the cake from the tin. I like to keep it in the tin for at least the first day, and then I take it out of the tin and wrap it up in foil, as you're gonna see soon. So here you have the most amazing traditional British Christmas cake, which is absolutely delicious and will be absolutely amazing by the time Christmas comes around. So unfortunately, I'm not going to cut into the cake just yet because I will save it for Christmas. But I do hope that you try this recipe, and I'm sure that you're going to love it just as much as I do. If you like this video, then please do give a like, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.